Hey everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ethan Young, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the internship I completed here at ESPN Wide World of Sports in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. Uh, Pretty much a regular day here. We would come in and do your normal field setup, but it's a little bit different since ESPN is such a huge complex. There are about 30 fields and two buildings that we can have pretty much any sporting event that you can imagine. And so we would come in, and depending on the sports that we were covering, we'd just do your basic field setup and take out uh, ice, tape, taping kits, med kits, splints, and anything else that we needed for the day. And we would set up in a tent that was kind of in a centralized location for whatever fields we're covering, which could be anything from baseball to lacrosse, uh, soccer, and not only just one field, but we may be covering several fields at a time due to the amount of teams or sporting events that were going on. And basically, we took care of pre-game tapings, anything the athletes needed. Uh, During the game, it would be just injury management if anybody got hurt on the field. We'd take care of them then, sending them to wherever they needed to go, depending on how serious the injury was. And post game, take care of anything the athletes had at that point, whether it just be ice or any minor injuries that they had throughout the game that they needed help with. Pretty much just your regular athletic training job from that standpoint. Um, One thing that was quite a bit different is that you wouldn't see athletes on a regular basis. It's kind of your weekend warrior type deal where the athletes would just be here for a tournament. And after that, if you diagnosed them with something, they would leave, go see a doctor, and you would probably never see them again unless you were really lucky to catch them on another day and you really never knew if your diagnosis was wrong or right. Um, Additional tasks aside from the just regular athletic training aspect of it was we would do education board that we had in our athletic training room that we'd kind of put up like a word of the week and medical mysteries and interviews of some of the other faculty and other interns just to get to know people a little bit better. We did inventory and we also did scheduling. And so those were kind of things that would kind of help us to get used to the other aspects of athletic training that you don't normally practice typically. Um, there were quite a few interesting situations that occurred throughout the internship because, number one, you deal with a very wide variety of athletes and athletes' parents. So, one interesting situation was actually the very first day I was on the job. We were working a 3-on-3 soccer tournament, and I had a kid and his mother come up to me, and she thought he may have broken his collarbone. So I checked it out, and all I had to do was look at it to see that it was broken. But all of a sudden, their supposed team doctor was over at my tent. Family, friends were just swarming me, like suffocating me, and it was just kind of a shock because I'd never dealt with anything like this before. And it was just, it was interesting to say the least because everybody thought they were in control, and I had never dealt with a serious injury like that before on my own. So I was eventually able to take back control of the situation and get the athlete off to where he needed to go. But it was definitely something different compared to working back at school with the college athletes where you have closed practices or, you're down the field and, all the fans and parents are up in the stands. They can't get down there as easily. Um, but that is one thing that I definitely grew in throughout this internship is being able to deal with parents and other fans because there are no boundaries and they can come walking right into your workspace and pretty much go wherever they want to go on complex. Um, As for strengths of this internship, it would definitely be the time you get to spend on your own. I know working at school, you kind of always have either you're certified, either staring over your shoulder to make sure you're doing everything right, or you're basically just watching them, seeing how they're doing something. Here, it's a totally different feel because you are the one in control. There's nobody out there to help you or tell you what you did right or wrong, which could be a good thing and a bad thing in certain situations. But one thing that it did do was help me gain a lot of confidence. Just knowing that I'm the only one out there and pretty much what I say goes, and just got to take control of situations, which was awesome for me. It was exactly what I was looking for. One of the biggest weaknesses I would say for the internship was that you don't get any follow up with athletes. You like I said earlier, diagnose what they may or may not have for an injury, and then you probably never see them again. So that leads to no rehab, no modalities, which is kind of a letdown. But then again, at the same time, there were a lot of opportunities for immediate care and evaluations of injuries. Um, as for this internship and my future in athletic training, it didn't really change my view on the profession or where I want to go because I was already planning on going into physical therapy. I did really enjoy this internship, and I do want to continue to do athletic training or work at least in a sports medicine setting. But as for right now, I plan on going to grad school and continuing my education there. As for the BOC, I know you guys always have questions on how to study. I studied strictly from the Blue Van Oost book. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And basically all I did was study how to take tests better. I didn't do a lot of learning. I feel like the teaching that Jen and Renee and all the other faculty at Western, all the experience and knowledge that they have and what they're able to tell you is great information. And I just basically tried to refresh and work on taking tests. So I took a lot of practice exams and just tried to become a better test taker. Um, I know everybody always likes to ask about daily logs as well, and if you stay on top of them, they're really not that bad. Um, I was able to pretty much complete them every day. A couple times I got behind, and it was not fun catching up on them, but it's really not a big deal compared to all the homework and stuff that you get when you're actually in undergrad, but it's they're not bad. Future plans, like I said, I plan on going to grad school for physical therapy. I got accepted to Regis University, which I feel extremely blessed, and I'm very happy. I'm excited to get out there, and it's in Denver, Colorado. So we'll just see where that leads me. Um, I hope you guys are having an awesome time. Best of luck. I know you guys are gonna just have great experiences in your internships as well, and I hope you all just have a great time finishing up your career at Western. And pretty soon you'll be sitting here where I am, telling everybody how cool it is to be done with school. Almost. But best of luck to everybody. Thanks.